Okay, so we have the portcullis slab here, and we have the two rollers. And you can see the moment you start pulling this way, it's pulling the rollers over that way as well. Now if I put any weight on here, you can see it just pulls it right off the ledge. So you pull a little bit and it'll just pull them right off. So the only place that we have where we can stabilize these is, as far as I can tell, the only place that we can stabilize them is against this wall over here. And that's where the stabilizer elements come in. So if you have these two here like this, now you can, well, let me run this one up through here. So now, because you're braced against the north wall, you can do it as much as you want, right? So no problem. There is another way of doing this, which instead of having rollers, I have these more elaborate pieces here. So basically it's a log. It's rounded on this side, at least somewhat rounded to fit into the groove on this end, but it also has a projection sticking down, so it actually goes down into the grooves both on the east and west side. So it would sit in there like this, right? And it's harder to pull it out now because it's basically stuck in the groove. I'm going to put two of these in there. So let's do it like this, right? Nope. Has to go there. All right. So if we have it like this, now there's no bracing against the north side, but they are both sort of stuck in the groove channels. And if you pull on this, and I haven't really done this, but let me just try to pull like this. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. I was suspected that they will start turning like this. That might not be the case if there's enough weight. But the friction on the roller is going to tend to pull it out of that seat. So you could have smaller pieces between the rollers. You could have just, you know, a piece of wood that sits between the two rollers, but if it's just single pieces sitting over here, they could also easily fall out. So I tend to think that's not the case. That's why I created, you know, this idea was basically to lock it behind the roller so it can't just fall off the ledge, and then that gives you the stability that you need. Same thing applies over at the, let's see where it's, so this piece here, so this is exactly the same as the others, except it has this notch cut out so that it fits right here above the granite leaf, because there's no circular cutout, right? So it can't be circular at this end. So this one sits there like that, and then the ropes would go down this way, and then they get pulled from down here. And so this configuration also allows, you know, that allows it to go the entire distance. It's interesting that these are not moving. Oh yeah, because they're partially locked in and this is locking them in. So possibly you don't need this second piece over there. I mean, you probably would for this one here that's gonna sit there. This one is kind of locked into the groove above the wainscots, because it's just a straight down. There's no sideways push on that one really. But I think in the realistic scenario where there was a lot of weight on this, if you then have it going backwards like this, it would tend to pull it this. Oh yeah, it's locked in there pretty well. I mean, there is a way that you could maybe make these stick down into the grooves a little bit more than I have. The problem with that is it restricts how far up the blocks can then go, right? Because if you use up groove space to seat these, there's less space available for the blocks. So those are kind of trade-offs in the model.